To make our zero gravity video for Upside Down and Inside Out, we flew in a plane that basically goes like this. Each of these humps is called a parabola, and on each parabola what you feel is 20 seconds of double gravity while the plane is throwing you into the air. Then you feel weightless for about 27 seconds while you go up over the top and kind of sail back towards the ground. Then at the bottom the plane catches you again and you feel 20 more seconds of double gravity.
After the whole maneuver is done, you've lost a lot of altitude, so it takes about 4 or 5 minutes for the plane to gear back up to do it all over again.
So the important thing to get from all of this is that in a plane like this, the maximum amount of weightlessness you can get at any one stretch is about 27 seconds. Because if you try to do more than that, you're going to hit the ground.
Problem is, our song is over 3 minutes long and we wanted the whole video to be weightless. And we also wanted it to all be a single routine. We didn't want to just like slap together a bunch of cool moments. So here's the plan we came up with. We cut up the song into 8 chunks, each of which is short enough to fit into a single period of weightlessness. And then we'd perform them all in order, and then later cut out those long 4 or 5 minute waiting periods between the zero gravity segments. So the resulting video actually feels like a long single sequence of weightlessness. With this idea in mind, we went to the Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center outside of Moscow for a week of tests to see if our scheme could work.
Here's some of the stuff we learned that week. 1, the timing of all of this is very, very delicate. The most reliable system we could come up with was this. When we were about 5 seconds away from zero gravity, the pilot would signal our cosmonaut trainer. And the cosmonaut trainer would signal the audio playback guy, Roman, and Roman would start sort of a count off to the correct section of the song. And then we would sit perfectly still and no one would move until we heard the music. When the music started, we would launch into the correct section of our routine that corresponded with that part of the music.
2, weightlessness is not like a light switch.
The gravity kind of fades in and out, especially at the beginning of each parabola. So sometimes you feel weightless before everything is floating around in the air.
Because we were trying to sit perfectly still between different parts of the routine, this meant trying to stay in your seat even after gravity's gone.
3, most people's response to weightlessness is just to start swimming.
It takes some time to train your body not to flail around. Kicking and paddling when you're in the air is not the same as kicking and paddling in water. You just look panicked.
4, swimming is most people's response to weightlessness, but the other is just puking.
The band members were all on pretty intense anti-nausea medication, but a lot of the crew were like, no, we're keeping it all natural.
So over the course of 21 flights, we had about 58 unscheduled regurgitations.
5, weightlessness actually looks a lot like slow motion.
And when you think about it, that makes sense, because what tells you something's in slow-mo is sort of the way things hang in the air. Of course, in zero gravity, things really are hanging in the air. That meant that for us, a big challenge in the choreography was to create some contrast and to create some impact, because otherwise everything just sort of looks slow and drifty all the time.
The tests taught us a lot, and the good news was that our basic scheme seemed like it was going to be really possible.
We tried a lot of different timings and a lot of different systems, and we eventually came up with a way to fairly reliably know that we could get the music to stop and start right around the time gravity was coming and going, and therefore get a single take video that felt really seamless.
Each take took about 40 minutes. In the beginning of the video, you can see that we're actually in double gravity, and then there are 8 scenes of weightlessness, each taking place on their own parabola. If you watch the video carefully, you can actually see where each of these scenes starts and stops by noticing the moments that gravity come back for a second. Here they are.
So for those of you keeping really close track, you might notice that those sections are not 27 seconds apart, they're 21 seconds apart.
The song itself moves in musical sections that are 21 seconds. Each verse of the song is 21 seconds, each round of the chorus is 21 seconds.
The way we made the 21 seconds of song match the 27 seconds of zero gravity was we slowed the playback of the song down about 28.5%. Here's what we looked like in real time.
Pause, don't stop. Let us rip. 2, 3, 4.
And And then when it was done, we sped the whole thing back up, which also combated the kind of drifty, floaty, slow-mo effect that everything gets in 0G.
I mean, it is truly unbelievable that everything just came together.
There were so many variables, so many unknowns, so many challenges.
Basically, I'm still sighing big sighs of relief that it happened.